I've had so many compliments from so many people. What are you doing? You look great. Your skin's fabulous. You lost weight. Got into clothes I haven't been in for a couple of years. And I got on the scales and I thought, oh my God, look how much has gone. Bang, 7 kilos was gone.
I've lost 23.5 pounds on the pre-cleanse alone. I'm now doing day 2 of the 7-day cleanse. I feel phenomenal.
And my energy is just up to a totally new level.
My energy levels would sustain. They didn't end. There was no end of the energy. I felt just as good before I went to bed as I did when I got up.
My energy levels have gone through the roof, so try it, it is the best.
I'm back to the weight I was before I had my children, and I'm, back in my early 20s, so.
I just felt fantastic when I was doing it. All my rashes cleared up. I had tons of energy. I lost weight, which is always good. And my blood sugar could not have been better. I was so excited about that. You'll just want to do it again and again.
Hi, I'm Ross Bridgeford, the best-selling author of the Alkaline Reset Cleanse and the creator of the Alkaline Reset Cleanse coaching program. And today I want to talk to you about how you can create a transformation with your health and your energy in the next 7 days by committing just 7 minutes a day. This is a huge promise, I know, but I'm going to explain everything in this video, in this lesson today. And I want you to know right away that getting to the health and the energy of your dreams is a lot easier than you've been led to believe. And it's probably a lot closer than you think too. And today we're going to get you started so that you can start experiencing these results right away. Now listen. There is a reason that you're watching this video right now. Some challenge has led you to me and this workshop, and I want you to know this now. We are going to get you past whatever your big health challenge is right now and put it in the past forever, no matter how long you've been frustrated by it, no matter what it is. We are going to get you back to that level of health and energy and vitality that you deserve so that you can feel better and live each day with positivity and joy. Now, this is lesson 1 of the workshop, and over the course of the next 7 days, I'm going to show you the core of my entire Alkaline Reset Cleanse program. And today is all about what to do before you start the cleanse, so it can start getting you those massive shifts in your body with just those 7 minutes a day over the next 7 days. In lesson 2, I'm going to show you how to follow the 7 days of the Alkaline Reset Cleanse itself to effortlessly return your body to balance so that you can heal and restore and experiencing the amazing results that come from resetting your body. And then in lesson 3, we're going to go the whole picture. We're going to cover what to do after you've finished the cleanse to make the rest of your life full of energy and confidence and vitality without feeling like you're on a diet for the rest of your life. It's going to bring you amazing energy and it's going to flow effortlessly. And as we start, I want to share a story with you about just how breathtaking these results from just the before phase of the cleanse can be. Jennifer's one of my students whose story resonates with so many people. She was busy and stressed and desperate for change, but she was overwhelmed. She's a single mum and she was working a stressful job with long hours. And like so many people, Jennifer had told herself, she just didn't have the time. There wasn't room in the schedule for anything new. But her health, it got worse and worse. She developed IBS. The suffering from the cramps and the bloating and the chronic pain was day in, day out. She'd gained 50 pounds. Jennifer was waking up exhausted. The fatigue was debilitating and it left her feeling depressed. And the impact that she knew this was having on her kids was just heartbreaking. Jennifer knew she had to change, and she decided that now was the time and that enough was enough. She drew the line in the sand and she just got started, and she did it. She put into place the simple steps that you are going to learn today, just the before phase of the Alkaline Reset Cleanse, and she achieved stunning results. She got rid of the IBS. The bloating and the pain is completely gone. She lost 21 pounds just from these steps before the cleanse. Her skin is soft and clear, her eyes are bright, and her mind is focused and energized, and she feels amazing. And the best part for Jennifer, her children are seeing that happy, energetic mum again. She decided that enough was enough. Now is the time, and now she's thriving. And now can be your time. So if you're ready to put the pain and the frustration behind you and take your health to a whole new level, right now, let's do this. Let's get started on lesson 1, all about what to do before the cleanse. Now, I'm sure you'll agree, trying to live a healthy life, an alkaline life, well, it isn't always easy. It feels like we're busier than ever, we're caring for our family, our partner isn't always supportive of what we're doing. I know some of you can relate to that. The social pressure is always there. I know why it's felt so hard up until now, but I also know that you're here and you want to change, and that's what today is all about. It's about kicking off and kicking on, deciding that now is the time. And today we're going to get into that root cause of practically every symptom and challenge and health issue out there. And you're going to learn my system for understanding how we got into this place and then effortlessly reversing it. And then we're going to get you started. I developed this system because I saw so many people who were overwhelmed and stuck and frustrated, felt like there wasn't enough time in the day, and they were struggling with their health for years. People that were struggling with their health, but for some reason they couldn't make change happen and they couldn't make it stick. And listen, it's not long ago, that was me. It was me who was stuck and frustrated, just like so many others. So I want to quickly share the story of how I discovered this system and how it works so that you can understand how it all came about and why it's so powerful as we move into putting it into action. And I think you might be able to relate to a few things in here. So rewinding a few years back, life had got on top of me and my health had suffered badly. I just stopped one business and started a brand new one. I'd had my first baby. We'd moved 2,000 kilometers across the country, bought our first house, and the stress of it all, the financial stress, the work stress, family, relationship, the pressure, it led to me taking a massive backward step with my health. Life had changed and my health hadn't coped. I hadn't coped. What I know now is that I'd got massively out of balance. I was sick and tired and fatigued. I was gaining weight, losing muscle, and I was struggling to sleep. And it was a snowball that got rapidly out of hand. And I kept telling myself, I know this has to change, but I just don't have the time. Once I've got this project done, then I'll have more time. Or once I've got that done, or after I get back from that trip overseas, then I'll have the time to do this. And as you probably know as well, tomorrow never came. My confidence was shot and I felt like I was letting everyone down, myself, my family, my new little baby boy, and it just felt horrible. I needed to change. I needed to stop and take a step back and work this whole thing out. I had to find a new way of doing things, and there had to be an answer because what I was doing wasn't working. The old way of doing things that I knew from my past, it just wasn't cutting it. My health was getting too far beyond that. And the stress, the busyness, the lack of time, these excuses, they were just getting the better of me. Nowadays, today, I live by one important rule that pretty much dictates everything I do in my life. My family and my health are the most important things in my life. But back then, I was trying to balance all these other things and my health was suffering and it was affecting every area of my life, my relationships, my business, my contribution, my happiness. So I swore on that day, never again, ever would I let anything compromise either my health or my family. And that day I got to work. Now, if you've been following me over the last 15 years, you'll know, of course, even way back then, I was pretty well versed in the alkaline approach to health. And I was sure that the answer was still in there, but something was missing. Throwing supplements at the problem wasn't working. I knew I had to find this missing link. So I took time out. I invested again in my health. I had a hard look at everything I was doing, everything I'd studied, and I started again. I became a beginner again. I spent many hours in conversation with some of the biggest health experts in the world. People I'm lucky to call a friend, like Yuri Alkaline and Sarah Gottfried, Ocean Robbins and Chris Carr, Susan Pearce Thompson, Joseph McClendon. I spent time with as many people as I could, leading experts in areas like hormonal imbalance, autoimmune conditions, gut health, diabetes and more. Experts on the metabolism, the blood, stress and the brain. I needed to get a much bigger picture than I previously had. And I went back into the research and the data, and I dug deep into the latest studies and the science, and things had come on so far over the past 10 years. I looked for links and connections that nobody else was talking about, unique relationships between the systems in the body to try and find this breakthrough. And in all of my research, there was this one message that kept coming through over and over again. This common theme that emerged so strongly, it was like a slap to the face. There was this previously unseen connection that I could join these dots between the hormone experts and the digestive experts, the weight experts and the brain experts, the endocrinologists, the oncologists, the hematologists, the rheumatologists. The connection was in there. And then I started to see this connection in all the scientific studies too. And once I saw it, it all just made sense. Everything fell into place, this one thing. And if this one thing was out of whack, everything would fall apart. And the one thing is your body's balance. Now, I'm not talking like a balanced diet or a work-life balance or anything like that. That's not what we're talking about here. That doesn't even scratch the surface. I'm talking about that absolutely critical balances between your body's intricately connected systems. This vitally important homeostasis that it's your body's only main goal, and your body's working so hard to maintain and get back into balance all day, every single minute of every day. Balancing your hormones, your gut bacteria, your white and red blood cell production, your enzymes, your immune system, of course, your pH. There's thousands of critical areas in the body that all have to remain in this super delicate balance, and they're so connected, and all the body is doing all day, every day, is working to maintain this balance. It's the overarching, single most important goal of your body. When any of your body's thousands of delicate balances fall out of whack and get off balance, sickness, disease, fatigue, weight gain, pain, these are the inevitable result. And our standard Western diet, our stressful lives, our lack of sleep, the sugar, the soda, the alcohol, the takeaways, the processed foods, all of this is constantly pulling our body away from that balance and putting your body on red alert and stress and forcing your body to fight its way back. But when we flip that around and we instead provide our body with the specific nutrients so that it can easily maintain this balance, wow. Everything changes. My life changed. My health came rapidly flooding back, and with it, my energy, my positivity, my vibrancy. The excess weight just disappeared. My stress disappeared. My skin became clear. My mental clarity was amazing. It was as if I'd flipped a switch. I felt vibrant and alive, and it all came from this readjustment in how I approached my diet and my health, and this focus to fueling my body, to allow it to heal and nourish, and most importantly, to rebalance. But this story doesn't stop with me, because I took all of this information and rapidly began building a new methodology. This was completely unique and different, and it changed the entire framework of how I coached in all of my programs. And it worked like crazy. This became the absolute core of what is now the time-tested, people-tested Alkaline Reset Cleanse that you're learning about in this workshop. Hundreds of thousands of people have been through this workshop now, and it is powerful. Each time I've taught it, we've improved it, and the results just keep getting better and better and better. And now what you're getting in this series, this is the framework of the best cleanse I could imagine. And with this new connection and this new understanding of what the body needs and why it needs it, it meant I could develop a cleanse that focused on abundance. With this cleanse, you're nourishing your body and you feel amazing. The Alkaline Reset Cleanse is not your normal detox or reboot or other type of cleanse. Most people are absolutely shocked at how pain-free and easy it is. You never feel hungry, you're not tired, there's no headaches, there's no cravings. It's a joyous experience. You feel light and positive, your energy is wonderful and balanced all day. Your mind, it's sharp and focused, and your mood is uplifted. I'm truly, truly proud of this cleanse, and I believe there is nothing like it on earth. And nothing to me is more gratifying as watching people do the plan and knowing that their lives are about to change. And it's all built from the foundation of the model that came from that research, my AAA method, which we're going to get into now. Because understanding the AAA is the first step. This provides you with the most powerful before the cleanse phase you could possibly imagine. So let's get into the AAA now. So there are 3 primary reasons that your body gets out of balance, and you need to know these, okay? 3 primary reasons that are at the root cause of practically every sickness, disease, condition and health challenge, and they are acidity, inflammation and oxidative stress. So acidity, to give it its proper name, what it's referred to in the scientific community is known as diet-induced acidity or net dietary acid load. Okay, this is where our diet is so heavily weighted towards those acid forming foods that the process of digestion, once all the various roles of digestion have been completed, leaves the body in a state of acidity. Now, your body will always regulate your pH back up to as close to 7.365 as possible, but it's this journey that causes huge stress in your body. Just as a couple of quick examples, a state of diet-induced acidosis causes your body to chronically overproduce cortisol, which not only causes adrenal fatigue, which leads to actual fatigue, weight gain and brain fog, but excess cortisol is actually one of the most consistent precursors to practically every cancer out there. Excess cortisol then also impairs your body's ability to regulate insulin, it produces inflammation, it affects sleep, it slows digestion, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's just thousands of knock-on effects of diet-induced acidosis. Then there's inflammation, and when it comes to inflammation, we already know some of the most common symptoms of inflammation, the aches and the pains and so on, but I want you to know this now, inflammation is at the root cause of so much more. Research recently has pinned it at the root cause of autoimmune conditions such as thyroiditis, Hashimoto's, chronic fatigue, digestive conditions such as IBS, fibromyalgia, leaky gut, rheumatoid arthritis, Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes, and so much more. Really, inflammation can be incriminated in practically every sickness and disease. Really, again, this is just scratching the surface. And oxidative stress, this one is absolutely massive and nobody's talking about this. Oxidative stress is, in essence, the damage caused by your body's inability to deal with the volume of free radicals in your system. Our body creates free radicals through its normal functioning every single day, every minute of every day, and some are absolutely necessary. Again, we're talking about balance, because when our diet and lifestyle and stress causes there to be way more than the body can handle, things start to fall apart. And just think, the process of our cells dying, this is called the aging process. So if you feel like you're aging quicker than you should be, this is oxidative stress. And these 3, the root causes, acidity, oxidative stress, inflammation, together they compound and they unsettle and they unbalance every critical process and system in the body. They're so interconnected, yet each of them in their own way can completely disrupt and destroy your health and energy. We have to address all 3 of them at once and powerfully, and this is where the AAA comes in, and this is the foundation of the Alkaline Reset Cleanse. Because the antidote to these 3, acidity, inflammation and oxidative stress, is a diet rich in, you probably guessed it, alkaline foods, anti-inflammatory foods and antioxidant rich foods. This is the AAA, alkaline, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant rich. The simple fact is we have to focus on these AAA foods, and these are the exact foods that we focus on 100% in the during phase of the Alkaline Cleanse that we'll get onto in lesson 2, and the cumulative multiplier effect of having these naturally powerful foods all day, every day is incredible. The focus on these AAA foods, and I explain exactly the types of foods you'll be eating during the cleanse in your workbook that you can access below this video right now. It fuels the body, it nourishes it, it gives it the exact tools it needs to powerfully rebalance, heal and repair and thrive. And boy, when you do this, you will really notice the difference. So, as we're going into your 7-minute actions for 7 days for your before phase, I want you to know this. Focusing on these AAA foods will bring massive change to your health absolutely within 7 days. Just like you saw from Jennifer earlier, in your before phase. Yes, before you even start the cleanse. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling busy and time poor, relax, drop your shoulders, breathe a sigh of relief, because this is the simple yet powerful set of 7 in 7 actions that you can start doing now. 7 minutes a day for 7 days, that's built on this AAA framework. It's going to change your life over the next 7 days. Let's get into it right now so that you can work out which of these, you don't have to do them all, which of these actions are going to be your 7 in 7s. So the before phase of my cleanse and this 7 in 7 approach is all built around my 20-80 framework for health, which is based on the principles of Pareto's law, whereby in any pursuit, 80% or more of the outcome is always a result of 20% or less of the input. In other words, you can get to 80% of your health goals. So whatever your biggest health goals are now, whatever your biggest health challenges are right now, think about what would your life be like if you got to 80% of the way there. Pretty amazing, right? Now imagine that you could do all of that with just 20% of the actions. Just the few, the core few actions are going to get you 80% of the way there. That's what this entire before phase is all about. This is the core of the 7 in 7 approach and how it's possible to get such incredible results in just 7 minutes a day. It's about identifying and focusing on the 20% only. It's about getting you the biggest benefit for the least amount of effort needed. So that the core of this is so that it builds momentum. You know, just gradually you get started, it builds confidence, it starts getting results. So if you're overwhelmed right now, this is perfect for you. If you don't have time right now, this is perfect for you. In the Alkaline Reset Cleanse coaching program, there's about a dozen, maybe 15 or more of these actions that you can choose from and focus on in your before week. We don't have the time here to go through all of them now. That would take quite a few hours, but let's go through some of the most popular ones now, the ones that have been proven by my students over and over, so that you can pick your 7 in 7 strategies and start implementing them today and for the next 7 days while we go through this workshop and see the benefits for yourself. Okay, promise me you will not fall into the trap here of thinking, oh, I know, drink water, 8 glasses a day, I get it. Because believe me, when I say this, the vast majority of people out there, maybe even you, are chronically dehydrated, whilst at the same time knowing that drinking enough water is vital. In fact, it's not just vital, it's so important. You cannot be healthy while you're dehydrated. You can never reach your health goals while you're dehydrated. You have to get enough each day. How much is enough? Well, during this before week, these 7 days before you get to the cleanse, it's essential that you work your way up to an average of around 100 fluid ounces or about 3 to 4 litres by the end of your before week or your before phase. You don't need to go from 0 to 100 in one day. I want you to build up, take a bit of time, build a plan, get yourself from day 1 to day 7 to go from wherever you are now to about 100, 120 fluid ounces by the time you're starting your cleanse. There's a little roadmap for you in the workbook as well to help you to get this into action. And my biggest suggestion to make sure this happens and that you don't forget each day to get enough water is my habit forming strategy of the linking habits. This is so important, it's so effective, and it's so simple because the biggest challenge most people have with hydration is that they simply forget to drink enough. They get to the end of the day and go, oh yeah, I didn't have any water again today. So this strategy ends all of that and it makes it automatic. It puts your hydration on autopilot. So what I want you to do is to make a list of the 5 to 10 things that you already do on a daily basis without fail and without even thinking about it. You know, you wake up, that's 1. You clean your teeth twice a day. You make breakfast, lunch and dinner. We're up to 6 already. You get to work, you sit down at your desk, you leave work, you commute home, you get home. The simple idea here is that whenever you want to form a new habit, the easiest thing to do is to actually link it to an existing habit that you are already doing. So when you wake up, have a water. When you clean your teeth, have a water. As soon as you get to your desk at work, have a water. When you do this, getting to 100 fluid ounces will become just a simple thing. It'll become automatic and effortless. And it isn't just water either. You can think herbal teas and juices and smoothies, broths. These all count. Think of things like flavouring water with fruits and veggies like cucumber and mint and strawberry and lime. Get creative, because you can easily reach your hydration targets when you plan it out and make it delicious too. And I assure you, if you need more energy right now and more mental energy, if you need to lose or gain weight, if you need to soothe your digestion, just changing your hydration with these simple automatic habits, just that alone is going to change your life, and it will build this platform of energy that you can take into your cleanse and get those truly transformational changes that the cleanse will bring. Proper hydration is the perfect prep in your before week for your cleanse to make your cleanse even more powerful. Let me ask you a question. How many serves of leafy greens did you eat yesterday or today, or combined? In fact, if you're like most people, it will be somewhere between 0 and 2. Most don't get 2. Yet leafy greens are by far the most powerfully alkaline, antioxidant rich and anti-inflammatory foods on earth. They're the perfect AAA food. In the 2014 study, Defining Powerhouse Fruits and Vegetables, the researchers studied the nutrient content of hundreds of fruits and vegetables by their vitamin, mineral and antioxidant content, and they ranked the top 41 foods on earth. The top 15 were all leafy greens. Yeah, you have to get loads and loads of leafy greens every single day. The goal by the end of your before week is to get 4 to 5 serves of leafy greens a day. And here's my top tips for doing this. Number 1, getting in that green juice or smoothie first thing in the morning. This ticks the box of having 4 to 5 serves of greens every single day before you've even left the house. It's absolutely incredible if you can do this, and it doesn't have to take a huge amount of time or stress or effort or cleaning up or any of those type of things. It can really get done in under 3 to 4 minutes. Think cucumber, spinach, kale, any leafy green you want really. You can sweeten up with things like carrots, beets, bell pepper. You can water it down with sweet things like coconut water or nut milks, or even just plain old water. These juices and smoothies are so powerful. For the smoothies, think all of those types of ingredients on a base of avocado and a nut milk, like a coconut or an almond milk. You can add in there healthy fats, nuts and seeds, all these type of things. Get creative with it. If you do this each day, it will change your life. Getting that level of leafy greens and that nourishment in first thing in the morning is going to be huge. The biggest tip I can give you right now as you start is to make twice as much as you need for each serve. So you're doing the same amount of chopping, the same amount of juicing, the same amount of cleaning up, but you've got tomorrow's juice or smoothie already prepared. So it halves the amount of time you spend in the kitchen. Just doing this again will change your life. Step number 2, or tip number 2, is to have a side salad with every meal. So the beauty of this is keep on having whatever you were planning to already have. Keep on having your normal daily meals for lunch and dinner. You don't have to change anything there. You don't have to be cooking a separate meal for you and a separate meal for the rest of the family. Keep having what you're having, but promise me you will add a side salad to that meal, and you have to finish the side salad. And I'm not talking some miserly little side salad that you would get, you know, as a garnish in a restaurant. And I'm also not talking about some crazy pomegranate, fig and goat's cheese rocket salad either. I'm just literally talking grabbing 2 handfuls of leafy greens in a bowl, dress it with some healthy fats, a squeeze of lemon, and bang, you're done. Finish that. Do that twice a day. Do that with lunch and dinner. That's another 3 to 4 serves of leafy greens right there. Mix up your greens, but don't get too complicated. Don't get bogged down in the detail. Just doing these 2 things will get you there every single day. And the difference, remember, those leafy greens are some of the 15 most powerful foods on earth. They're highly alkaline, antioxidant rich and anti-inflammatory, full of goodness, full of nutrients that are going to start clearing your digestive system, balancing your pH, removing that inflammation. The energy that you're going to feel from just getting these greens is huge. In fact, right now, can you imagine how amazing you're going to feel getting these extra serves of these unbelievably powerful nutrient-dense greens into your life every single day? Stop for a second out and picture how amazing you're going to feel leaving the house each morning feeling energized and alive. These nutrients go straight to your cells, and the energy burst is like nothing else. If you're used to having to rely on the fake energy of caffeine, This is going to blow you away. And the best part is this gets better and better the more you do it. So by the end of these 7 days, your newfound mental energy, your mental clarity, you're going to be, it's just amazing. Definitely promise me you're going to do this one. Turmeric is hands down the most anti-inflammatory food on earth. And if you've got any health challenge right now, I promise you there is inflammation in your body. So getting a serve of turmeric every day is a game changer and a life changer for so many people. If you're in any degree of pain right now, if you've got hormonal imbalance, fatigue or excess weight, you're going to see a huge positive difference by the end of this before week, even if this is all you do. And when that pain and inflammation is gone, the extra resources that are available to your body to work elsewhere means that a lot of your other challenges and symptoms and little niggles with your health, they're going to disappear too. Turmeric has been found to be as or more effective than 14 different prescription drugs in studies, and now there are over 800 other studies proving its power. Don't take this one lightly. This could truly be a life changer for you. And getting it can be so delicious, but turmeric is one of those things, we hear a lot about it lately, but it's not one of those ingredients you naturally incorporate into your daily life. You know, so I'm going to give you one simple tip now. And this one simple tip has been used by probably 90 to 95% of my students, and it's now a daily habit for them, and they would never go without it because it's delicious and it just works so amazingly well. And that simple tip is going to be up on your screen now, and that is my simple daily turmeric and ginger tea. Now, this recipe is in your workbook as well, so you don't need to scribble this all down now, but all you need to really do is bring a pan of water to boil, turn it down to a simmer, then use a grater or a vegetable peeler to get some turmeric and ginger into the pan. You're looking to get about 1 centimetre of root of each. Simmer it for 3 minutes, squeeze in some lemon, serve it, and you've done. Absolutely, it takes such little time, but the impact could be so huge. Definitely do this one too. Finally, this strategy, working hand in hand with the 20-80 rule that we learned before, is absolutely essential to your before phase and the next 7 days, and especially as we're transitioning. Now, we're going to go a bit deeper on this in lesson 3 that you're going to love, but what I want you to remember now is as you start your before week, I want you to focus first and foremost on adding in the good stuff rather than taking the bad stuff away. When you focus on taking things away, your brain notices and you feel deprived. It makes you aware of what you're missing out on and it stresses you out. Instead, I want you to have the goal to simply add the good stuff, the good new nutrient-dense foods in, not taking the bad away. How much more relaxed and less overwhelming does that sound? All you need to do for the first 3 to 4 days is stick with this, just adding in the good. Don't worry about cutting anything out. And then as you start to pick up confidence and momentum and start seeing results, then you can start turning your thoughts to tapering down and transitioning away. And I just want you to focus on 2 things right now, sugar and gluten. And you don't have to give them up. You don't have to go cold turkey. What I want you to do is just gently minimize. What are the easiest, most sugar-dense foods that you eat each day that you could swap out easily? Same for gluten. For most people, 80% of the sugar and gluten in their daily diet is coming from just 1 or 2 foods, and to swap them is really easy and it makes a big, big difference. So what I want you to do now, and the process for this is in your workbook, is just go back over your last 3 days. What have you eaten? Everything, be honest with yourself, over the last 3 days. Write out a little retrospective food diary and just fill it in. What have you had? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, everything for the last 3 days. If you're like most of my students, what you will find is there'll be an eye-opener. You will see just 1 to 2 foods, maybe even just 1 food a day that is contributing 80% of your sugar every single day. Just swapping that one thing. And normally it's something that people don't really care that much about. It's needless and it's easy to swap. And when you take that one thing out, when you clear the sugar out, when you clear the gluten out, it changes things rapidly. The goal here is to start your cleanse with the heavy lifting of sugar and gluten already dealt with. If you can minimize your sugar just for even a few days, this is going to make a huge difference and put your cleanse on such a powerful path. When you shift just those 1 or 2 sugar heavy foods, you'll find that the brain fog clears almost immediately. Your body becomes so much more effective at generating energy, you'll love it. People see sugar as an energy source, but it's not. It's a source of fatigue, and you're about to see what I mean when you start to taper it off and transition away for it. I want you now, get ready for energy. Now, the easiest way to bring all of this to life is to follow my 7-minute morning. The before morning routine, which is so simple and takes just 7 minutes. And it's something I want you to commit to for just the next 7 days as we go through this series. And this is what it is. Step 1, wake up and immediately hydrate. Now, I'd love this to be lemon water, but simple filtered water is fine. Step 2, make that fresh green vegetable juice or smoothie. Again, for the juice, think cucumber, celery, spinach, lettuce, bell pepper, whatever you like and whatever you've got. And again, you can flavor it with coconut water or nut milk, or water it down a little bit with just some filtered water. And for the smoothie, think all of those things on a base of avocado and coconut oil, and tweaking it with things like nuts and seeds, and you can chuck in some plant-based protein as well if you want. Just make sure you get this daily green drink in. And then step 3, your turmeric and ginger tea. Either using that recipe from before, or instead of the water, you can use some nut milk, and then after simmering it, blend up the whole thing smooth and have a turmeric latte. Just this morning routine for 7 days, 7 minutes a day for 7 days, is going to make a noticeable, remarkable difference to your energy. It will start to clear that mental fog and fatigue and bring a brightness to your life. So if you're time stressed, just get started now with these actions from today's lesson. And listen, you don't have to stick to just 7 days here too. That's the minimum. Just like Jennifer that we heard about before, you can do this phase for a couple of weeks to get yourself ready for the cleanse, but 7 days can be all it takes. And this is Eugenia, another one of my Alkaline Reset Cleanse coaching program students. She followed the before phase step by step, and look at what happened.
Just the 7 days, I lost 9 pounds. Just the 7 days. Weighing on day 1, weighing on day 7, there was a 9-pound difference. There was another 10 pounds. And that was within 2 weeks after that. I mean, listen, I'm obviously a Black woman, and we are very curvy. That's not, so it's difficult for us to get rid of some of those curves in a way that's not cliche, but I guess it is. It just is what it is. I see myself more energized, and I just feel more positive, more excited about the possibilities of what I can do. I feel proud of the diet, the nutrition. Like, I feel more proud of myself for me.
Huge change is possible, and now is the time. Now is your time. All you need to do is draw that line in the sand, follow these steps, and you will get the result. What I've taught you today is about laying the foundation for your before week, and these actions you've learned today will bring noticeable change. So I urge you to take action and put these simple 7 in 7 steps into action today. Listen, how many years have you already spent in pain and frustration with your health? How many years have you spent not feeling good? We can put all of this in the past in just a matter of days with the Alkaline Reset Cleanse. And that's what you're going to be learning in lesson 2, the step-by-step of the core of the Alkaline Reset Cleanse. But right now, I want to hear from you. I want to know what doing the Alkaline Cleanse is going to do for your life, and why now is the time for you to finally get to that level of health that you deserve. Below this video, you're going to see a link to your workbook, but also a link to my private Facebook community called Living Alkaline with Ross. This is where we connect and share and support each other, and hundreds of my Alkaline Reset Cleanse coaching program students will be in there too. They're all so experienced with the cleanse and so helpful, and they're here to help you. And this is important. At 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the day after each lesson has been released, I'm going to be running a live Q&A in that community to answer your questions and go a little bit deeper on some of the topics we've covered in the lesson. So it's really important that you go now, click that button and join that community. And when you get there, I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear your answer to this question on the screen now. Now is the time for me to do the cleanse, because okay, I can't wait to hear from you, and I can't wait to get to know you and connect with you. So go and head there now, and I'll see you all again in lesson 2.